everybody. Excuse me. Wow. Well, it's a chilly morning. It's in the 50s. We're down in Gila or Hilla. I don't know how they pronounce it, but I pronounce it Gila Bend at the pilot truck stop. But we're fixing to leave and we're going on east. Yesterday I showed you a video of the Verde Flat Cemetery, and I said I would do kind of an update on it as I found out information, which I did. And this is what I'm going to read to you, and I've got to read it because my memory doesn't really do that well. Okay. It says here, February 22nd, 2006, this site was visited by researchers. The cemetery is enclosed by a fence with a main gate at the north end. The cemetery is fairly well visited as the main path was well worn. A Boy Scout troop has placed white crosses on the obvious burials, which number approximately 100. There is another 100 interment that are unmarked, scattered throughout the enclosure. The vast majority of the burials are males, probably miners from the Vulture Mine. About 10% of the burials are females and are children. Research continues to determining the names and dates of those buried, and I do have some of them that I have found. Okay, it's also research notes say that an additional 25 to 30 interments are in individual graves on the actual mine property. These are the high graders and various criminals that were not allowed to be buried in the receptacle cemetery. In 1996, ashes of one individual are scattered about in the mine property by their request. It's believed that most of the burials in the cemetery are children who died of diseases of the era, such as typhoid, diphtheria, chickenpox, etc. And I figured it had to be some kind of disease. In 1923, some personal miners, as they were referred to, paid the mine company to extract ore. And when they were working in one of the large underground chambers, the Vulture Mine, a hard rock mine, had no need of support timbers. The mining company found it necessary to leave about 40% of the ore in place as supporting columns. Ew. One large chamber had ore columns that were very rich in gold. The personal miners were chipping away at these columns when they suddenly gave way. 100 feet of rock over their head collapsed on them. The cave-in killed 7 miners and 12 burros. There was no hope of rescuing them. And yeah, it was really interesting to read about it. Also, Vulture Mine is very interesting, and if y'all are ever in that general area, say around Wickenburg, Arizona, go down Vulture Mine Road, ask in town, everybody can tell you how to get there. But you go down Vulture Mine Road about, maybe 17 miles, not even that much. And it is open to the public. I believe the last time I went to it, it was like $10 a person, but I don't know what it is now. But the young girl that the tombstone has her name on it, and all, okay, she was the daughter, hey, quiet. She was the daughter of Ramon Severo and Andrea Galendre de Valencia, who are buried in the Garcia Cemetery. Stop it. Will you quit barking at Noah? in Wickenburg. Francesca is the only known headstone in the Vulture City Cemetery, which is the Verde Flat Cemetery. The marble was shipped in from San Francisco in 2006. The tombstone no longer marks this grave. The base and enclosure are still there. COD, cause of death, they say, was diphtheria. But I found quite a few of the people that were buried. I gave her one, honey.
She don't want it.
Well, she don't want that one nor this one then. Okay. But anyway, that's what I had found out about it. Vulture Mine, I mean, there's one section there at Vulture Mine that they call the hanging tree. And that's where they hung the men that tried to leave with gold stuffed in their pockets. You know, they didn't make it very far. And they have the kitchen there. I mean, it's really a neat place to go visit and very interesting. So, if, like I say, if you're ever in that area, really stop, go check it out. The cemetery, the Verde Flat Cemetery, is about maybe about a mile past the Vulture Mine. But yeah, I enjoyed the Vulture Mine. I enjoyed going through it. It was about 10, 11 years ago that I did with my son, my youngest son, and his girlfriend at the time. But anyway, I thought I'd bring you up on something, you know, some of the stuff that I have found out. There is so many young children there, though. I mean, there really is a lot of young children. And they have information as to who their parents was. A lot of them, from what I've read, which I don't want to go on and on and on and on about it, but a lot of them was diphtheria. So I guess diphtheria was very much the cause of death of a lot of these people at that time. But it is interesting to me. I mean, I love cemeteries. And what I'm going to try to do from now on, though, is try to find some of the history of it or at least find out some of the history so I can give it to you all before or after I film it. But one of my subscribers, which is also a friend of mine, personal friend of mine, she said on the comment that a lot of people say the cemetery is haunted, and you know, I do believe it, because even the very first time I went to that cemetery, which also was about 10, 11 years ago, I actually felt sadness, such deep, deep, deep sadness there. And I have wanted to be able to spend the night there, camp out at night, because I'm very much into the spirit world. I mean, I'm quite a believer. My grandmother, bless her heart, she was a psychic medium. So she taught me not to be afraid. You know, she taught me not to be afraid of death. And so I've always been very interested in it. Also, one of my subscribers have also said, and this is one of the sad things I find in the cemetery, especially that one, is that, oh my goodness, no names on the graves, you know, and it's so sad. And they said, you know, you die twice, once when you die and once when your name isn't mentioned again. And that's so true. That's so true. So anyway, guys, I thought I'd give you an update on it. I love you all. Big air hugs. Don't forget, mask. I've got 4 masks now. So I could interchange them while I wash one. I got another one. But don't forget, distance, wash hands good, sanitize, which I have to do right now, so I will do it in front of thee. So anyway, oops, that's dripping all over. Anyway, I will talk to you all soon. I love you all, and take care and have a wonderful day.